Yeah, how's it going? So I was gonna try this video out on my camera, so hopefully it comes out. So I got this 2008 Ford Ranger. I was looking at the coolant, and it's really dark green. Like it hasn't been changed in a long time, but I don't believe it's supposed to have green in it to begin with. It's supposed to be using a newer technology coolant. So I'm gonna drain this, and that was really soupy looking. I was gonna drain this and put some better coolant in it. So I was contemplating, I really need to kind of want to put it on ramps so I can get under there easier, but on this, I'm not sure if it should actually you know, if I lift the front end, it seems like the coolant would go to the back, and based on where the drain plug is and such, I think I'm gonna try to do it on level ground. Let me see. Put some mats out here that I can climb under there. And I'm wearing safety glasses. That's 99 cents at Harbor Freight, and it keeps stuff from falling in your eyes. So my understanding is right under here is where the coolant drain plug is. Sorry, I can't zoom in and out very well on this camera. I don't have time to figure it out. So I'm going to take these bolts off. There's a set like that on the other side. And hopefully that'll get us access to the drain plug. So that's what I'm going to start on next. Okay. I think that's recording. So I got to take these plastic rivet things out. I got myself a new set of tools here. Put a link on that below. This one that's got almost a 90-degree bend on it works really good for this. I just put it underneath. Or get it a little bit, kind of pull down. And I was thinking about leaving these off. I'll finish that up here in a second. But I think I know what they're for. Where are we at here? Is so when you go to put this on, you can push it back up, and it holds in place while you put your, weirdly enough, 13mm bolts in there. So I probably will keep those. But I just got to take that rivet off. There's one on the other side, so I'll take those off. Okay, I zoomed out. Ooh, it's recording. Yeah, it's recording. Zoomed out on this with the touchscreen. We'll see if, seems like there's more room to work on the passenger side. So I get a better, so just stick this in here. Just get enough where it pries out easily. And then what I did, oh, did I leave it? Well, here it is. Hold on. So I'm trying to hold the camera and get my tools at the same time. Very awkward. Ah, there we go. This tool is really cool. So after I got some space in there, this would be a lot easier if you're doing this with two hands. I just squeeze this. Does an awesome job. It even holds it a little bit. Look how long that plastic rivet is that was in there. This is what I was getting at here. Get to this thing, and we'll see how I want to put a tube on this, but I don't know if it's necessary. I don't know what size it is. It's about the size of this thing. So if I find an old coolant tube laying around, it'd be kind of neat to run a tube down into my drain bucket, but it's not necessarily necessary. Let's see. Kind of looking around down here now they got that off, you can see a lot more. Anyway, so that's what I gotta do next. Okay, hope these pictures are coming out. I'm zooming out a little bit. Figure out how to do that on the phone. Just draining into this plastic bucket here. And I had to use some pliers to kind of break this free, but just be gentle. It's a really, oops, yeah, turn it the right way. Trying to turn it to the left, and it's really stuck. I don't know if it's purposely like that. I'm not gonna force anything though. Wish it could open up a little bit more. Might be because I have the cap on it tight, because it really came out quite a bit as I turn it. It might have. Worst thing I'd want to do is, it's all cheap plastic. If you twisted this and it broke, you'd be hosed. And this looks a little bit different. I wonder if this is a different radiator. I thought the forged one was supposed to have a square nut in there that was 19 millimeters, but so this might be aftermarket, I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna just go up top. Well, I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna open this up and see if we can hear. Yeah, it kind of. I'm gonna leave it. I don't know. I tend to forget things as I get older, and I'm afraid if I put it like that, I'll think it's open, but I guess we're okay. And I want to put something on there so leaves and stuff don't fall in there. It's draining really slow, but I'm afraid to open that thing up any farther. I just used a pair of pliers to loosen that. And it is draining faster, but I really would want. It feels really tight. Oh, there it goes. I gotta clean my hands. I got coolant on them. Let me go wash my hands. Okay, it pretty much stopped draining. And well, now I say that, I don't hear it. But if I squeeze this hose, I can hear it draining more. My big thing is I want to try to get as much of this old coolant out as I can. There's a little bit of debris in the bottom of that. Can't really. Let's see if I can. Can't really focus. And I know there's going to be some coolant in my heater core. I bought concentrated coolant, so I need to get 2 jugs because it makes like 4 gallons. I think it's like 2.5 gallons. So I'm going to dump one of these distilled water gallon bottles in the coolant reservoir and see if that helps get some of it out. So this we're going to play around with now. Okay, so I put a gallon of water in here, which filled it pretty much the top here, and it's now draining out. And which I think was a good idea because there's still green coolant coming out of there. So I think it's helping flush some of the green coolant. This thing holds quite a bit, this blue bucket. I don't even know where it got. It's probably got Walmart or something, but that's a big bucket. I got to get rid of all this coolant. Wonder how much is in there. So, still letting this do its thing. I'll probably run a couple of those through there. Plus, it gives me some place to start mixing my concentrated coolant. It's a, 50-50 ratio there. Okay, that looks pretty old school green. I'll drop my phone in there. What I did is I just let that water until it started coming out clear, and I'm gonna pour that into this 5-gallon bucket so I can keep using this, and then use some heavy duty silicone spray on that little drain plug to help loosen it up and seem to help out a little bit because it's really hard to turn. So I'm just going to transfer this into here. Can decide what I'm going to do next there. All right, it's starting to get pretty hot out. So I filled this back up with the water, and I put 1 gallon in there, and it kind of settled down. And while after I did a 50-50 mix of my concentrate, and then I came back and I was able to put about a 1/2 gallon more into it. So my game plan is I'm going to run it with the heater on and try to get the coolant to kind of circulate out of the heater core a little bit, and then do one more drain. Okay, kind of weird. Oh, you can see it. So when I was draining it, I thought there was some foam in the coolant, but then I was thinking, I washed out that blue bucket first, so probably just some old detergent in there. I'm gonna have to get in. So what I've been doing is I've been running it, and then when it drops below minimum, I've been adding more water to it. And here I gotta shut it off pretty quick, but all this is foam. And that's kind of weird. I don't know why there's foam in there. I got to thinking, and I bet you I know what happened. You know, it's kind of a bad idea to put your windshield wiper fluid right next to your coolant reservoir. And this doesn't look like a traditional coolant reservoir. It looks like a windshield wiper fluid deal. You know, you got your coolant, you don't have a radiator on this thing. So I bet you sometimes somebody accidentally opened this up and filled it up. It's probably running low, and they probably filled it up with windshield wiper fluid. That's why that'd be my guess as to why we're getting suds in here. Probably windshield wiper fluid. That'd be something I would have done. But yeah, that was kind of not a good idea to put this right next to this. I mean, they did put the symbol on there, but you can't tell what these hieroglyphics mean. You know, they're probably like, oh, look, when it gets halfway down, I'm supposed to put fluid in there or something. I don't know. So that'd be my guess as to what happened. It's not sucking down as quickly. I'm just going to run the engine with the heater on in the cab until the engine reaches, which I don't know what the needle looks like, but I'm going to wait till it looks like it's at operating temperature. And that should be fully circulating the coolant. Basically what I'm doing is running it until the thermostat for the engine opens, assuming it has a thermostat. Okay, I let it run for, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. And temperature never really got to the middle of the gauge, which tells you distilled water actually seems like it to be a pretty good coolant. The foam all went away, so that's good. And anyhow, so what I'm going to do now, and I looked in here, it looks pretty clear, as you can see down there. And so my game plan now is I'm just going to go under here and drain all this out into my bucket, and then go from there. Okay, it stopped draining. I was afraid I'm going to drop my phone in the coolant. And so all I did is close that valve right there, and then it's pretty clear. It looked clear coming down, but you can see it's got a green tint to it. And but that's all distilled water flushing out the remainder of the coolant. So now that it stopped dripping, I'm just going to go up top here. Got that valve closed, and I'm going to start filling this guy here. If it does like before, it'll take a full gallon, I'll drop down, and then I'll keep adding to it. And it's supposed to be like 2.5 gallons of coolant, so we'll see. Granted, even though you drain it, there's still a lot of coolant like in the heater core and in parts of the engine block and stuff, so we'll see how it goes. So 1 gallon of coolant got me to the minimum line, but you can hear it, I can hear it bubbling away, and like if I squeeze this hose, or usually it goes down a little bit, but I can see it slowly going down on its own. So anyways, it'll probably take, I'm gonna guess from here to here is a half gallon. We'll find out. Okay, it was about a half a gallon, just a little bit less than half a gallon, but I went ahead and filled it up way high, which is interesting because you can see the air coming out of this line, and this line goes to there, which actually is the top of the radiator. So I'm assuming that as this fluid goes down the lower radiator hose, it's pushing the air out the top, and it's going back in here. So it's almost down to the max. I don't want to run the car or the engine with the coolant above the max, because then it will have trouble with the pressurization system. So I think that'll go down. I'm just going to keep filling it through here until it stops going below the max, and then I'll start the engine. Okay, I'm pretty much going to call this done. I just kept topping it off. Now it's at max and it's not going down. And so what I'll do is I'm expecting to use, I put 2 gallons in it, and I should be putting another half gallon. But again, when you drain an engine, there's still probably a half gallon trapped in the system. So what I'll do is, just as I drive around, keep an eye on this. It'll be interesting to see if when it cools down, if it'll suck down this or not. Anyways, I hope this video helps somebody out there. Usually you can just go to one of those quickie lube places that does engine or coolants too, and on the weekend's a good day because those guys don't want to work there, and you can usually just give them like $5 and they'll take the coolant from you. So that's a hard thing to get rid of in this day and age if you don't know where to get rid of it. Anyways, I hope this video helps you out, and thank you for watching.